Welcome to Beyond Your Why podcast coaching edition, where we delve into the world of elite coaching and consulting. This podcast showcases leading coaches who've harnessed the power of their why to shatter boundaries and achieve extraordinary success. Now, each episode will feature coaching powerhouses who will share their unique journeys, breakthrough insights, and transformative impact of living their purpose. Now, let's meet today's guest. Her name is Alyssa Poggioli. She's a leadership performance executive coach in the works and workplace wellness. She specializes in helping people create new neuroplasticity to become their most intentional selves and build a proud leadership legacy. Alyssa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I saw you smiling when I said your name.
Yes, you said it correctly. Flawless. I loved it.
All right, I got it. So can you give us a snapshot of your coaching practice? What's your primary focus and what are the major outcomes that you help your clients achieve?
So a snapshot is a little bit mix of things. I have people who come to me and want to work one-on-one in the space of reducing stress, gaining energy, overall like health and well-being. That comes from formerly managing corporate fitness centers for 9 years. So that's where I'm a board certified health and wellness coach, but then also an executive coach, life coach, certified in Hogan assessments. So one-on-one coaching is a snapshot of a few hours of my day. Consulting for leadership performance and facilitations and trainings is another snapshot of my day. And the outcomes is really just to help people become more aware, awake, and intentional so that they can create bigger impact and have a more simplified way of how they show up so that they can make a greater impact on their relationships, whether it's personal, professional, or with thyself.
So who does your coaching work best for? Like what kinds of individuals or organizations do you find benefit the most from your coaching approach?
I spend a lot of time in companies anywhere that are 300 to 700 employees, engineering, financial, pharmaceutical, private equity, that are really just maybe going through an acquisition or struggling to create a culture that's strong enough to get through the kind of ambiguity that acquisitions or startup turmoils can sometimes bring.
So now before the podcast, you and I had a chance to talk a little bit about your YOS. And so for the listeners, Alyssa's why is to contribute to a greater cause, add value, have an impact on the lives of others. Now, how she does that is by making things simple, easy to understand, direct, to the point. But ultimately, what she brings is a trusting relationship where others can count on her. And so, Alyssa, how did that feel to you when you heard that? And then how is that translated into the type of coaching that you do?
It felt very on point, in alignment, and I would say it contributes in just about every aspect of my coaching. With coaching, I view it as a partnership. I'm going to bring 100% of my half, and I'm going to want and request that you bring 100% of your half. And with that is ownership, accountability, whichever word you jive with. But at the end of the day, we have so many things come in that our brains have to navigate through, and distractions and addictive things that come, whether it's shopping, technology, other substances of things. And it's like when you can just have a person that's gonna, is completely dedicated to you and the betterment of you, and that there's a non-judgmental space that is just there to like love, support, and uplift you. I think there's a lot to be said about that in a coaching partnership.
Yeah. And at the beginning, when I did the introduction, we talked a little bit about you specializing in helping people create new neuroplasticity. Now, what does that mean? What are we talking about?
Science has come a long way, and research has shown that we can rewire our brains. And I think it's really important to understand that, because a lot of the time it's easy to go on autopilot. It's easy to understand, like, man, I am half-assing life. I'm just going through the motions. I'm not fulfilled, but I don't know how to change it. And it can feel very stuck. But what neuroplasticity and the science around it has taught us is, like, if we can start paying attention to the limiting beliefs or the thoughts that are automated on our reticular activating systems, we can tweak them and shift them to be able to then create a completely different outlook and a completely different experience and reality within ourselves, our relationships, our habits, what we thought is possible for us. And I just find that, yes, it's important in business or leadership to be able to think outside the box and to grow and evolve, but also just for yourself and your wellness and your adaptability and your resilience and tenacity about and on how you go about looking at things and handling things. There's a lot to be said. So yeah, it's rewiring of the brain. And there are simple things that you can do to do that.
I love it. I like the simplicity part. Well, in this crowded coaching landscape, what do you think sets your approach apart?
Part of me wants to say no BS, but to be honest, like, yes, I can be direct, but I am probably one of the most, like, non-judgmental, loving people. I would just say my authenticity and, like, my commitment. I am just, like, relentless. If you invest in yourself and I get to be part of that journey, I hold that to a really high standard and I take it seriously. Like, I'm not here to get married or have kids or, I'm here to make a positive impact. I'm here to help you be a positive ripple and to maximize the world in which we live in and how we relate and connect to one another and lead others and live our lives.
And you know what I really like about your YOS, Alyssa, is the what of trust. Because what that tells us is that you want to be that trusted source, that guide, right? That is there for them. If you tell them something, it's going to be the truth. And they can count on you to be there with them every step of the way. Does that feel right?
1000%. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So that really gives us a good understanding of your coaching philosophy and the impact that you're making. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's have a little bit of fun, okay? You ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay, we're going to do our quick lightning round, which is rapid fire questions. Here we go. First one, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
If you could only grab one item during a zombie apocalypse, what would it be?
Water.
Okay. Favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Life is change. Growth is optional. Choose wisely.
Excellent. How about a favorite movie or streaming series that you love?
I really love This Is Us.
Okay. How about one book that has influenced your life the most?
Two-Way Tie, either The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz or Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life by Bob Proctor.
Got it. Yeah. How about the biggest obstacle you've overcome and the one lesson you learned from it?
I nearly died right before the pandemic due to salmonella. I was in Malaysia, and what I learned in that is that life is temporary and our health is our wealth. So to not take any day for granted.
Oh, wow. I love that. Alyssa, if our listeners would like to connect with you, hire you, work with you, what's the best way for them to find you and get in touch with you?
Probably my website, alyssapoggioli.com. And you're going to have that in the notes, or do you want me to spell it out?
You're going to have to spell that one.
All right. www.alyssa, P as in Paul, OGGIOLI.com, or alyssa@alyssapoggioli.com. You can send me an email.
And now the rest of you can see why she smiled when I pronounced her name. But Alyssa, thank you so much for sharing your insights and being with us here today. It's a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Thank you so much.